Hey now, this is a certified hood classic.
Any supplemental?
Bruh.
Ordering the courts. It is time. And my God, it's an hour off, and I swear to God, it feels like we're not supposed to be on right now.
It's a weird situation. It was just me and Officer Pork Chop for a while, just hanging out. He's like, it's kind of spooky in here. I was like, yeah, I know. It's like the end of the world's happening. Only me and you are left. Just us. Nothing else.
Hey, I get it. It's early on the or on the West Coast, and it's high noon, as they say. Here on the West Coast, Mikey's got some things to do. So
yeah. I've full transparency. My daughter's having her ultrasound today, and I want to be there to see the baby. So we're doing a little bit early, so I can do that. But don't worry, we'll be back for We Got to Chase and everything. And Creed, I've just been handed a note that starting today's the first day over on We Got a Case for Florida Friday Court. That's right. All a half hour.
Yes.
Of Florida bonds from just this morning, piping hot and fresh.
Nice.
So 2:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, that's great.
About 2.5 hours from now, you'll be getting your first dose of Florida Friday Court. So make sure you go by there and check that out and say hello.
Oh, that is great.
It's high noon.
I love that.
Morning.
Court-wise, thank you guys for jumping over onto Biggin's stream last night. Lots of love, and
so
he's a cool dude. And got him to 25K with a little bit of help from this community, which is freaking awesome. And way to go for him.
And his people, a few of them were nice enough. The ones that don't already hate us. The ones that did know nothing about us, come on over and subscribe. And we're at 19,944.
Wow. All right. Well, I love that.
66 away if my math isn't wrong. Could be though.
Do the right math. But then again, every time you mention it, a few go away.
56. 46. I don't know, but it's got to say 20090. Something. It's got to at least have a buffer.
Something like that. Everything else on the schedule today is just the same. We'll be back for Florida Friday, and We Got to Chase, and of course, members only on the main channel at 5:30 Eastern. I am in the middle of doing a $1,000 bonus hunt, and we'll be. I'm down. Yeah.
Look, guys, when I told you Creed had a problem, I wasn't lying. He's now taken all the monies he has won this last week and throwing it out the window.
I've just been extremely, extremely lucky. And it's kind of a celebration for getting the channel to where it's at and with all the winnings. So anyways.
So today is not only weird because it's a weird time, Creed. Today is also weird because we're going to watch 2 videos today instead of 1. The first one we're going to see is out of course, the great Washington State. And they are hearing a case about somebody having problems parking in front of this young girl's house and staring at her and things like that, kind of weird and creepy. Yeah. And the second one, we'll head back to Georgia, where I'm at right now, as you can see. We'll head back to Georgia, and we're going to hear one of Judge Woke's classic only one person there cases, where she just listens to what the petitioner has to say and decides if she's going to grant it or not grant it. So we're going to do that. It's Friday. Why not?
Why not? Let's jump into it.
Any supplemental material, I've seen or read that. And if there's been a response filed, I've also seen and read that. So it's not necessary for you to repeat everything that you put into your petition. All right, you can refer me to specific parts of it that you think are important if you want to do that. But you don't have to restate everything or read everything, because those matters are already in the record and I'll consider them. Okay, let's get started with your case. So can I have you, Ms. McCracken, and Mr. Lee and Ms. Barnes raise your right hand, please?
Do
each of you swear that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, and Ms. Barnes and Mr. Lee as well? Okay, do you also swear that the testimony you give will be the
Hey,
truth?
hey, Creed, do you think if they turned their camera the other way,
You'd see all
you'd
of
be able to
them.
see
Ms.
both of them? They
McCracken,
had to
go
like
ahead and
listen to
present
each
your
other.
side of it,
Yeah.
and you can do so with regard to both Mr. Lee and Miss Barnes, okay?
Okay. Well, weeks ago, I filed an anti-harassment order, and I had presented a lot of evidence and testimony as to why we feel we need this. We have been dealing with threats from Mr. Lee for about 2.5 years after an incident with towing his van from our front yard. A lot of it consisted of very late in the evening, also while he was extremely intoxicated. Threats of I'm going to kill your family, that kind of nature. It has continued. for
Sorry,
the last-
I'm not laughing at those threats. I'm laughing at past acid. I missed something early today. Lon said Mikey's checking into rehab.
That's it. That's it. Already off to a great start with this one.
Yeah.
A van. Are we not going to explain why his van's just randomly parked in your yard and he's drunk and you're having it towed away and
I'm
he's
also
threatening
happy.
to have the whole family?
Does it add a little bit to the creepiness that it's a van, right? I
Yeah,
it's-
the
it's
van part is kind of creepy. I mean, he's a little bit of an older gentleman, I guess you'd say, and she's quite
Yeah.
young.
A,
Get that van out of here.
is it possible that Shannon? I believe that's Shannon with the sunglasses on top.
Yeah,
Hi,
yes.
Shannon.
Sure.
Is it possible that she kicks Alan's ass quite often? Or no?
I don't know.
Am I reading that one right?
She doesn't look friendly.
She
I
looks
could
like
be
she
wrong.
could
She
kick-
could be salting the earth.
She could kick my ass.
Oh, I know she could kick my ass.
Shelly, thank you. 5 bones.
New
But,
job.
New job. $5 more an hour. Heck
Wow.
yeah. Love that.
Jeez, that is amazing.
Thank you for sharing.
Heck yeah.
Our page has bumped up $2.50 per hour because you sent that. And Amy, thank you. It says, "Hey, Mikey, my favorite."
You're the only one. You're the only one.
last 2.5 years, and just recently within the month of July, stalking behavior almost had started. And it was with the help of Shannon Barnes with her vehicle, also her being present. And essentially they would sit in the vicinity of home and make it known that they were watching our house, or it felt like they were watching our house. Like if we would look out the window, they would sit and wait at us. And that happened almost a week before I initially filed. We have called the police many times for this behavior, for these incidents, and they tell us to get an anti-harassment or some sort of protection order. And that is why I am here today to request a protection order. Behavior will cease, because physically asking them to leave us alone has not worked.
Mm.
And we feel that the only way to make that happen, to where if they don't follow the order, then some actual repercussions will take place, to, I guess, make them understand that we are serious, that all we want is peace, quiet, and to be left alone and not have to deal with threats or any acts of violence which have previously taken place.
For real,
Peace
though,
and love. Peace and love.
I mean, if you got a van sitting like next to your house and they're just like drunk and staring at you and yelling at you, that it is.
We
I
have
understand. I
still not
sympathize with
established why the hell is it there?
Right,
Are they? I mean, why is this guy's van randomly in front of your place? And now we've started a war with the towing. And I would not want to mess with Shannon. I've sat here a little bit longer and looked at her,
Yes.
and I knew
It's the
Oof.
the look on her face is.
I could see her coming down the street, just shaking her finger at me right now,
yes,
wearing a sleeveless shirt. Oh, well, ironically, she's wearing one of those right now.
I can totally see it. I can completely see it. Hey, good for how do you say her name? Nissa? I don't know how to say her name. Anyway,
Miss McCracken.
we'll just say McCracken. Good for her though. Actually getting it towed though. I like that. That's balls.
Beautiful lamp, by the way.
That's Walmart special, Mikey. I believe they're less than $10. Matter of fact, yeah, put them together though.
Oh, I thought maybe I could put one in here, but I don't think I have enough room.
By the way, our friend that we don't mention that's all over Reddit. Man, he gets a lot of crap because of his. He put colored bulbs in his, and everybody makes such a. Oh my god, it's so funny. Sorry.
Sidebar. Sorry.
It's the same lamp. I mean, it's the same lamp with like the colored lights.
Wow.
Steal that out of a teenager's room. The comments are amazing.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
In your position, you described that Mr. Lee has made threats against you, and you described some of those threats here again. But also in your petition, you've basically said that Ms. Barnes has facilitated Mr. Lee's doing this, and I'm not clear on what you mean by that.
Well, in being with him, either
She's his
driving
hype
the
man.
vehicle and parking it within 20, 30 feet of my house, to sitting with him and watching, or even walking down and sitting across the street from our house, herself. That is what I mean by facilitate, or even lending him the vehicle to carry out these activities that he is doing. And I'm not saying he can't borrow the car, but to participate in...
This is getting a little bit confusing. By the way, Pez, great choice today.
It doesn't get much better than that. And it's Friday. So you did it before you were drunk, and so it's going to still count.
That's true.
Here is my question. She's alleging this lady's giving him a car to come and park in front of her house and stare at her. She's also saying that the two of them have walked down together and sat across the street from her house. I mean, either they're
car part of
insane,
it I was not getting,
or maybe there's an offer on the table.
Oh, Lisa,
hi.
Glad you could make
the odd. To me, it's odd behavior to just sit and watch somebody's home is rather concerning, or doesn't feel like he is attempting to stop him from these behaviors and essentially tell him to just leave it alone. It's not that big of a deal, or something of that nature. But to participate as well, for me, is facilitating.
It's one side of the creepiness when just the dude sitting there in a van watching while he's getting tanked, but then his wife joins too.
Yeah, bring over the old lady. Let bring his girl with him. Some people just want to look at you. They just want to watch. But it is extra creepy. Oh, pizza dough?
Yeah,
for 40
party
people?
at Melanie's this weekend.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like something rich people do.
Never forget, Alex. Never forget.
Okay, and how far away is their residence from your residence?
500 feet.
And that's out on the boat?
5 football fields.
Okay. All right. Ms. McCracken, is there anything? I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, where they're presently parked along DeVoe Street is within 300 feet of my home and my front door. Currently.
Okay.
She could see them right now from her house.
McCracken, is there anything else that you?
They're
feel
sitting
like
in the
you need
car.
to know before I make
Right.
a
Yeah. I didn't
300 yards from her house right now.
Wouldn't it be funny if she grabbed her and just showed like out the window, and there they are just sitting down?
Yeah, there they are sitting in the damn car like a bunch
That's
of
true.
weirdos again.
Why are they not in the house right now?
Yeah, why are you not indoors? You're outside your house. Why are you in the car? Just sitting there menacingly.
That's all right. This is a weird one.
decision, or before I hear from them?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Barnes and Mr. Lee. It's up to you which one of you goes first.
I will, I guess. First off, I want to say that, I apologize if that's the threats that they are assuming that I'm doing it by helping him with anything, because we're not. Literally, the pictures that they've taken of my car is on the road facing my direction of my house, not their direction. And it's basically because I can't work on my car on my property because it's a rental property. So I have to actually go out on the road to do any repairs. That's exactly what we've
How
been doing
ghetto
because
is
my
that?
car's been having a heck of a time for over
All
a
right,
year.
so they got rules where she can't even work on her own vehicle.
Work on which I do know some landlords like no working on cars
Yeah,
because
it makes
that
sense.
kind of intent that just ends up being
Sure.
like stuff scattered everywhere. You know, it's a
Yeah,
graveyard for the car.
right. No, I get
But for her to go out into the street and do it, and I have a feeling she does her own automotive repairs.
Oh God, yes. She changes her own oil. Yes. She absolutely knows how to do that. Thank you.
In every photo that's they've sent out, you'll notice that the hood is up on the car.
Or we're have the car up on the curb because we're working on the tires.
Yes. And we had no idea we were even being filmed or camera, and we really don't want anything to do with these people.
But I didn't even know their names. I mean, really, to tell you the truth, I didn't even know their names. And the rocks that she's talking about that she thinks that I've sat on and across from her house, I was in a coma almost 2 years ago. I can't even walk that far. So I don't go down there to the rocks. I don't sit across from their house. And I've never
BGG.
in any of the films that are like the pictures that they've taken, my car's not even by their house. It's actually down towards my house, my direction.
Okay,
more.
stop right there.
And I can.
She was in a coma for 2 years. Is that what we're hearing?
I
Or
believe
was
that-
she in a coma 2 years ago?
Oh,
Which one is it?
that's a good question. Hopefully, she'll clarify that. I'm going to go with 2 years ago. But
And remember, this car was towed 2 years ago. The said van was towed away.
Gina, be careful, and I appreciate the extra effort.
Just lay low, Gina. Just lay low.
That's right. No laughing out loud. Don't make me,
Just not knowingly.
I can prove that just by where we're parked right now. But I don't want to be that petty. I just want this over with. I don't want them to feel threatened because I'm not threatening them in any way. I would just like to go about my stuff. You know, if I have to work on my car on my street, then I would like to work on my car on my street. But these guys have come out, well, not her so much, but her husband has come out screaming and yelling, threatening to bring guns out. I have a videotape of him trying to get me out of my car because him and his buddy were coming at me in Allen both. So I videotaped it. And I just
I thought she said she had a videotape.
I really don't. I don't want to live like this.
All right, Mr. Lee, let me ask you a question here because one of the allegations that Ms. McCracken has made is that you particularly, she said, have made threats to her. Do you want to respond to that?
I was angry when they illegally towed my van, and I won that in court. And I believe they're just upset that they had to pay the $1,600 towing fee. As far as that, they said that I pulled an iron.
That's
Would they
quite
tow
a-
it from Washington State to North Carolina?
right. That's
Good
quite
Lord.
that's quite a bill there for
It's
towing.
hefty.
And he won. So that's an interesting fact because we kind of took her word, like that it was illegally parked. She called
Yeah, I thought it was like sour grapes. He was mad, but he came out on top of that one, it seems like. So he shouldn't be too worried.
Devil's advocate here, just kind of throwing something at the wall, seeing if it sticks. Maybe I might be honest. Maybe she's just pissed off that obviously that money had to come out of her pocket.
Absolutely.
She had it towed.
Or she started a GoFundMe.
So maybe we're making up some stuff about being watched and stuff to kind of get back.
But it doesn't look good when they're sitting in their car staring at her house right now.
Yeah, then there's that. So yeah.
Rail out from under their house is ludicrous. I have a
Well, I'm sorry, pulled a
titanium
what?
bone in my arm here.
A what from under the house?
I
have a
didn't
titanium
understand that
bone in
earlier
my
part.
arm.
You said pulled something.
Oh, they said that I pulled an iron railing from their front porch in the statement that they put in.
Uh-huh.
And there's no way I could do something like that.
Did you see his arm?
I'm physically not capable of something like that. And as far as threatening to beat them up or anything, I'm a 55-year-old man who's crippled. These are young kids, livers, because it would take me a couple of days to die instead of just shooting to kill me.
What?
Their friend has cut my husband. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Has cut Shannon off on the road in a red truck, who was also
He's not got bad
Right,
internet. He's
who
just
was
got a speech
also part of
impediment.
the whole towing thing. I don't wish to talk to these people. That is fine with me. We're staying away from each other works fine. But as far as all this threatening and stalking, I have no
He
reason.
said double nickels.
55,
Lisa.
the limit, as I like to call it. I understand his weird arm thing he's got going on there. That's terrible. But again, his mouth works. And that's all it takes to make a threat. You just need your mouth. Yeah, you don't need to be like jumping around or anything, Pamela. You just got to be able to say it. So again, it's possible. All things are possible, but it's a weird situation. I don't know if there's any of the harassment here, but there's definitely just absolute weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Reason to stalk them. I don't want to stalk them. Like Santa says, we didn't even know their names until today.
But I don't want them to feel threatened either. So I would
Right.
like them to know I'm doing car repairs, not trying to even.
You know, we have nothing to do with them. We're not even thinking about them.
Okay,
Hmm.
thank you.
Yeah, he's a rough 55.
All right, so Mr. Lee and Ms. Barnes, is there anything you feel like you need me to know, or excuse me, that you need to tell me before I make a decision?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, I have reviewed the petition, excuse me. And as I said, the petition's the same against both respondents here. It's just both of them are included as respondents.
Shelly, it's funny you said that because I was kind of thinking that because hers was kind of going in and out in the beginning too, not quite as bad. But if you go to the streets, it'd be wouldn't it be funny if we find out that they're actually stealing?
They're stealing Wi-Fi. They don't want to say it. That's all they're doing. They're not really stalking her. They're just stealing her Wi-Fi.
Right. We pretend to do car repairs so we could use her Wi-Fi.
We sit across from her house and do some shopping on eBay
for belt buckles.
Yeah.
I guess I do have a question. I meant to clarify this and I forgot to. The van towing incident. And the actual incident itself, not what happened afterwards. That occurred, that towing was in 2021. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that's what I read and I wanted to make sure that I
Yeah,
read
make
that.
her mind. You said that it was like 300 feet
300.
down the road.
Yeah, they're not far. She can see them from her house right now.
Correctly. Okay. All right. Well, here's how I decide this. The law requires, first of all, that Ms. McCracken is the petitioner here, and all petitioners have the burden of proof. That means you have to prove your case, and the level of proof that's required is what's called the preponderance of the evidence. That means the greater weight of the evidence. And the things that you have to prove in order to be able to have the court issue an anti-harassment order is that there's a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person, in this case, Ms. McCracken, that seriously annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to them, and would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress, and which actually causes substantial emotional distress and serves no legitimate purpose. In addition to that, the order can't be based on somebody exercising their rights under the Constitution, like their First Amendment rights. Now, clearly threatening somebody would not be covered by constitutional rights. Now, in this case, I cannot find by preponderance of the evidence that unlawful harassment occurred. First of all, in assessing the testimony as between the parties, really, folks, I find you equally credible in terms of what you're telling me, what the facts are, what your perception of what happened is. And I have no reason to doubt any of you. I think there's probably a substantial difference between the two of you in interpretation as to what these events mean. And on top of that, I think there's clearly some lingering bad feelings, maybe is a fair way to put it, over the vehicle towing incident. I know the incident happened. I know
The judge just said it. The judge just said it. So Creed said. I've already called it. I don't know. Miss Hot.
Woo!
And good to see you. And thank you.
So
And this
Mr.
one
I said,
is denied.
Denied.
Played out in court the way it's supposed to. But that's been since 2021. And if there were things said at the time, there certainly hasn't been any action based on that. So none of that is what I would refer to as current. So I don't find that there's been any reasonable suffering of substantial emotional distress here. The pictures that I've seen of in the petition of Ms. Barnes and Mr. Lee don't appear to show anything that's threatening or disturbing. They just look like pictures of people hanging around their cars and maybe working on them or sitting in them or something, but there's nothing untoward about
which
any
they
of
love
it.
to do. We know now.
So I just can't find, based on the evidence presented here in this hearing or previously in the pleadings, that warrants a finding of unlawful harassment, either against Ms. Barnes or against Mr. Lee. So the bottom line there after that explanation is that the petition in each case for unlawful harassment is denied.
Wow.
Thank you.
Write up orders consistent with that, and then you will all be
Super Rods.
sent by the court clerk by
Super,
email.
super Ross.
copies
Don't
of
go
the
anywhere. We
order.
got one more coming up.
And in Mr. Lee's case, the previously granted temporary order expires now.
Now.
I admit I'm right there with him on that. They both seemed very credible. I didn't catch. They really did, even though that was a very weird one. And that couple does some weird stuff.
Jones.
I don't know.
And Miss Jones, how do you know Angel Walker? Angel Walker is a rooming tenant in the same house.
Rooming tenant.
Okay, let me ask you this. How long have you been living at that location? I've been here for almost 2 years. Next month would be 2 years. So, excuse me.
That's a
It's
callback
almost
from the
2 years.
earlier case, 2
Okay.
years.
What sort of, so you said it's a rooming house, is a single house, right? Yes. How many people are tenants in that house? At this time, it's 1, 2, probably just 2 people. 2. All right. So how many bedrooms are rented in that house? I don't quite know how many are rented at this time.
No, how many are there?
Oh, I mean, how many could be rented?
I thought that was a pretty straightforward question, but I guess not. Whiskey 77, good to see you. And Shelley, who identifies as a 57-year-old, but identify as a 20-year-old millionaire. I like that.
That's a good way to go.
All right, so we got a house where they rent out a bunch of, so you got a lot of common. Could you imagine living like that?
I would not want to live in somewhere that's basically sharing a house. It's not even, and some people, it's like having your own apartment. No, it's not. You don't have a bathroom in there.
Nope,
you don't have a kitchen in there.
I would probably rather go in a Lowe's or a Home Depot bucket than.
And by the way, in case you're wondering, they in this courtroom, they move forward if the other person has been served and they don't show up for court. They move forward with hearing the case. So that's what we're doing right now. They're moving forward, hearing the case. That person didn't show up. They were served, and that's how you go.
It could be 8. Okay, up to 8 in one home? So, yes. How many bedrooms are in the home? I mean, bathrooms, I'm sorry. It's 2 bathrooms.
Oh,
and
8 people.
So where are the rooms and the bathrooms located? They are... Okay, so they're on the other side of the house. So how many stories is the house? It's 3 stories. So it's a 3-story home. With 2 bathrooms. What floors are the bathrooms on?
The first, and everybody lives in the third.
On the top floor.
Both bathrooms are the top floor?
And does everyone share those bathrooms? Yes, and they are full bathrooms. Okay, and then how many kitchens are there? There's 1 kitchen.
8 people. 8
And
bedrooms.
everyone shares the kitchen.
Yes.
How
So
does
they're
that
two
work? Go
They're
ahead.
well, you know what? It works pretty good, to be completely honest with you, because if you're respectful, you're okay. You know what I'm saying? So
With the bathrooms on the top floor, no, thank you.
Yeah, what if you gotta walk up 2 flights of stairs if you gotta poop real bad?
Yeah, you're talking. If you don't catch it before the turtle head, you're gonna have.
There's times I can't make it from the couch to 3 steps down the hall.
Right. See, Spider Keeper, thank you. You that is some good.
It's good decisions, just like her hair.
Hey, yeah, beautiful hair.
Imagine if you went off to CC's and you came home and you'd have to go up to
Ugh,
3rd level.
game
I'd never
over.
make it. It's
you have a lot of cabinetry, you have 2 refrigerators,
cabinetry. Yeah.
you know,
Cabinetry.
you got enough storage space.
Okay. How many?
Well-
And I'm just asking this so I can get a picture of the situation before you go into
Right.
what you're alleging.
Okay.
How many ovens are in the kitchen?
What? What does
One.
this have to do with anything?
How many microwaves?
1.
15.
Okay. All right. So
Anybody who ever watched Kit Boga will know about the microwave thing, by the way, which is absolutely hilarious. It's all I'm
The
thinking about.
walls are lined with microwaves, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's got there's a couple of calls where he pretends that there's just microwaves just everywhere in his kitchen, and every time when he's on the phone with the scammer, he goes near it and it just starts going, all weird. It's too good.
when did Miss Walker move in?
She moved in probably about let's say probably have 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months ago.
Okay.
46 months ago? It's a long time.
All right. And who else was living there when she moved in?
I was here. There's a young man by the name of Solomon. He goes to school and he works. I think it was him and I and someone by the name of Trevor.
Oh, God.
Dunston?
Not Trevor.
Anybody but Trevor.
No.
Trevon Dunston. These people are not here.
Oh God.
Okay. I'm trying to get background.
Okay.
And so what does what's the lease agreement like as to how the tenants are to use the shared areas?
Okay, so they are going through this company called Pad Split.
Mhm.
Okay. Pad Split
Give me add that or off the porch. So I had to do that already.
Just open the window.
basically, they're actually a third party company that houses people that are looking for temporary housing. Okay.
So that's the other thing, and no offense to anybody who needs stuff like that. It's good that there are places like that, but what I'm going to say is that you got kind of a transient in and out situation too. I would imagine
High turnover, new people getting to know new people, just an entire cycle over and over.
Yes, the daisy chain together.
And excuse me. So they come in, it could be a week, it could be a few days, it could be a month. It just depends on what they need at the given time.
What though is the agreement, like when you do sign an agreement and move in, is there any agreement as to how the different tenants are to use the bathroom and the kitchen and any of the shared spaces?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
So of course, respectfully, they're supposed to, they can put their, okay, so it's not itemized. Okay, so how can I say this? You can use it, you can put your belongings, like your food and, you know, as such, and you can cook but you're not supposed to touch anybody else's stuff.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to touch anybody else's food but this is like common sense. You know what I'm saying? You just have to be respectful. That's all. Just
So
respect.
if someone does not do that, is there a remedy in the lease agreement for someone?
It does.
to-
No, there isn't. There isn't. You could pretty primarily come in here and do whatever you want to do. You could
Okay.
tear folks. I've had where they've did some horrible things. I've seen some horrible things, but they've since been gone, and she's definitely one of them. But
Yeah, she's
Angel
been there
Walker
2
is
years,
definitely
and
one
all
of
these other people
them.
are just passing through.
However,
Well, it would be good to have a more. I mean, if you're the landlord,
Somebody kind of tell people the ropes, you know,
Right.
and everybody's got a
House
question.
mom.
Like, oh yeah. She's the dorm keeper.
Yeah. What a terrible
Person.
situation that sounds like.
there have been some people in here that have done some things that were not right.
Okay. So I'm just trying to get, because
Elaborate.
this obviously is not a landlord tenant.
Yeah, I'd rather hear. I wouldn't mind if she went into a couple of those stories. I mean, we just asked 15 questions about how many microwaves and kitchen appliances we have. Might as well.
You know, there's been people that pee and poop in the broom. It's got to be.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that situation, I would certainly think about it. Either that or my bathroom breaks would be very late at night or early morning.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not in the bathroom, and next thing you know, it's like, I'm in here.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
a dispute. Some things may be inappropriate or wrong. What I'm focusing on, that's the reason I was getting the background, is something that might be a violation of good roommate rules, may not be family violence.
Well, that's another thing she was saying is it sounds like it's a big company that has a lot of these. They're out of Michigan. She was saying,
Michigan.
Right? I think
Yeah.
is what she said. So that's that's
8 people that you're hoping will leave your stuff alone,
Right.
coming through and not
Right.
messing with your food inside.
Which and again,
refrigerator.
no offense to them, but they're down on their luck needing this housing. So stuff is not. Jesus.
So I need you to tell me now, what acts of family violence has Angel Walker committed against you?
Well, we're not family. I stated that.
So I decide what family violence is. So it counts as family violence if you reside together. So what
Okay.
acts of violence, threats of violence, harm has
She has
she done
threatened
to you?
me. She has
Okay.
threatened me. She has said that she was, she runs.
Shelly with another 2 bones. Thank you. She has threatened her.
Do you think they have like a list like, all right, Shelly, Saturday night you're cooking dinner. Trevor, Sunday night you're cooking dinner. Do you think they've got like a chart where it's like
and here's the other thing. What if these people are working certain shifts that are opposite to you and or not even working and just cooking whatever they want, do whatever they want all the time? Could you imagine?
the smell of food would wake me up? It typically does.
That's
but
a
I
good
am a
point.
fat ass.
Georgia. She runs, Atlanta, and she can have people to come and shoot up and.
Okay, so let me
she-
start. Around when,
Shoot up.
because she moved in 4 to 6 months ago, around when was the first threat?
The first threat was, let me see, it was probably within a month or 2. I think it was like the second month that she
All right,
said
and-
that to me.
Where were you when she made this threat? Like in the house, what was going on?
I was in the house, and there was another man that was living here. I don't remember his name. But he was what you call, quote unquote, a peeping Tom. And so with that being said, he was doing some things that
She didn't show up. Mike said, she didn't show up. So they
She didn't show up for
continue to
this.
do it anyways.
But am I wrong to say, has Angel already moved out of the flop house?
It almost sounded that way, did it not?
Yeah, it almost
then
did
there's-
sound that way.
Then what are we here for if that's the case?
I don't know. She's scared. And plus, we had the one guy that's a peeping Tom. She sure it wasn't Trevor. That's a peeping Tom guy. I wouldn't put that past Trevor.
That sounds like something that Trevor or Brian would both do. You guys making some really good choices today, and
don't let nobody tell you they're different.
Proud of you guys.
Don't be lying.
Thank you, Jack.
That wasn't right. They got into a dispute, and she was upset with me because I am not on pad split. Okay. She was very upset. So what she did was.
What do you mean you're not on pad split?
I'm not on pad split. I was on pad split. I'm under basically the owner, a different management.
What? In one house?
So they have pad split people and.
Oh boy.
And me.
Home.
Want to talk about a rabbit hole? This is a website. Could you imagine going through this website? Do they have pictures and stuff of the places?
Oh my God.
Let's see. Explore our rooms: Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Las Vegas, Miami, New Orleans.
Oof.
I mean, this would be fun to go through and see some horrendous.
I would hate to know I was a permanent resident, basically, which I guess she is. And you have transient in and out people from pad split coming in all the time.
We'll take a real quick look at this at the end, but I'm telling you, the homes that are being featured on here look very, very nice.
Well, if you look up at her ceiling, look at that ceiling. That's very nice.
I just instantly am thinking like this old dilapidated 3-story old house with just porches everywhere. And
it probably was at one point. Somebody probably flipped it and turned it into this. Moneymaker.
Yeah. What is the homeowner called? Is there a term for the person who
it's PS-AA1 management.
Okay, so they have people under different management companies under the same roof.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. So she got upset with you, and what happened?
Because she did not see my name on pad split. So for a number of months, she would come and she would say, she would antagonize me and all that kind of stuff. And I told her, I said, you don't know my situation and I don't have to explain that to you. Just mind your business. That's it. Just mind your business and go about your life. And so she got really upset and she was like, I'm not paying for you and all that. I said, but you're not paying for me. Just mind your business. So she incites everyone in the household. Okay.
Okay. But you said she made a threat.
At the time, there was someone by the name of Stephanie White was staying here as well.
Okay. So what I was asking you about the threat that she made to
Stephanie
you.
W.
You said she made a threat to you on that date. What was that threat?
She did. She said that she can have her people to come and shoot at me and shoot up the house.
Oh.
Okay. And so since that time, about how many times were there threats made to you?
That as far as I can remember, that was the only one, because I definitely was not in communication with her. Not at all. So I tried to stay my distance.
All right. And go ahead.
Yeah, I just tried to stay my distance and, just be respectful, because regardless, we still resided in the same household and I just wanted peace. But I had to tell her, mind your business. You don't know my situation. Just do you. That's pretty much it.
All right. Were the police called at any point then?
No, I didn't call the police at that time. I left the house.
Okay. So why did you file this petition more recently?
I filed this petition because she assaulted
the guy. No, I found a guy that did some evictions and stuff, and I think I found him through. I don't remember the dude's name, but the guy that owns the laundromat and the car wash, that dude. And then it suggested one after that. I watched a couple of different evictions. They were very sad, by the way.
This place looks very nice. The more I look at it, how nice the windows are, and
yeah, I'm
looks
telling
very
you,
clean.
I'm going through some of these pictures here, even some that look nothing like the outside. The inside looks nothing like the outside kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot nicer than I thought.
Assaulted me. When she assaulted me, that was it for me. Once she assaulted me. We were in the kitchen, and she was still in my belongings as well.
Oh.
But I just said, okay, long as she don't put her hand on me, that's perfectly fine. I just
Steal all you want.
I'm not gonna major in minor things. That's kind of minor to me. But I went in there and I had my broom, and I was putting my broom in between the counter and the refrigerator. And when I did that, she came downstairs because that's where she puts her food. But I'm like, this is common area. I can put the broom here if I want to. I don't get what the problem is. So she grabs the broom and throws it like on the other side.
Like a jab.
And I'm like, okay, don't touch my belongings. Don't touch my stuff. This is where I'm going to put it. And that's where I put it. Because I think I got up and I had swept. That's what I did. Because I'm over here by the kitchen area. So she takes the broom, and I grab my broom. Okay. I grab my broom.
Of course. Who is that?
And she takes the broom and she pushes it towards me. Okay. And she releases it at this time. I take the broom to put it back where I had it.
It's a storyteller.
Okay.
Master.
At this time, she grabs the broom and she grabs at my arm. She comes for my arm.
She straddled it, opened up the window, and I've never seen her since. She took off on that thing like a bat out of hell.
I don't major in minor things, Creed.
That's right. Make a t-shirt, would you?
Right. And she grabs my arm. And when she grabs my arm, I pulled my arm. And she bruised my arm when she grabbed it. So I pulled my arm away.
Arm bar.
And I got really angry because I saw it. And then I just took pictures.
Or how about this? Have you guys ever seen those? I didn't realize this, but some of the handmade brooms that are like the courthouse, they can be like $60 for a broom. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. I guess you'll have it the rest of your life.
Of my injury.
Rot.
All right.
Bruising. No. Oh, I thought you were saying she was rotten. I was like,
Did
no,
you submit
bruising.
those pictures?
I did.
All right, Madam Clerk, can you see if you could pull up those pictures, please, ma'am?
Oh God, here we go.
There were 3 pictures.
Files are too large. Didn't get them. I sent them. I resent them. Can't find them. That's not under that file number.
It may just take a minute.
Okay.
That sure will.
All right. After,
They're probably
do
not
you call
there
the
yet.
police on that occasion?
Yes, I did call the police. I was so angry. Apparently, she called the police too. And the guy, her boyfriend, come to find out, we found out that he had given the wrong name.
Oh.
And he had given the wrong name.
What do you mean gave the wrong name?
He gave the police the name Curtis Smith when his name is really Curtis Miller, because when I took out the TPO out on him,
so this isn't okay.
We found out when the sheriff came and asked for his ID, they saw that his last name was Miller, and that I showed them the police report, and they said report it.
So this is about. So I need more. This is not his petition. This is your petition against her. So what did the police do when they came out?
I'm sorry, Judge. What exhibit was that?
She said she has pictures in 6487.
Yeah, I have 64. His pictures.
3 pictures. She said
3 pictures.
I can't wait to see these.
Are they going to be of the broom incident, or what are they going to be of?
I'm guessing the bruises, perhaps.
Oh,
yeah, you know she does this a lot. It's like, what is that?
She needs water. I don't know.
Her lips sticking to her teeth.
Yeah, this one.
And while we're getting that pulled up, ma'am, are either she
There's
or
no
her
way
boyfriend
she's gonna
at the house now?
Grant this, right?
No, they are not.
Do they have any remaining belongings? Do they have?
They
any
don't live there no
remaining belongings
more.
there?
That's it. Not even.
They don't live there anymore. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, if they're not there, and she's thrown a lot of names around and a lot of people under the bus today.
Yes.
Also, when this is all about Angel, not about
Angel Walker.
I don't know if her boyfriend does, but I do know that she was escorted by the police to remove her belongings.
So did she remove all of her remaining belongings that you're aware of?
I believe so. Yes.
I threw the rest in the garbage.
Judge, I do
Blessed.
apologize.
Oh,
I
that's-
show that I only have videos and D, E, F, and G exhibit that was sent over. She was sent back stating that they were not able to, they wasn't in PDF, so we only have videos.
every
Okay.
case. It's every case.
All right. Well,
Ask her what
almost-
PDF is. Ask her what PDF is.
It's
See what
almost
she
like
says.
to the point where it's almost a disadvantage to people that are trying to prove their case because of the technology that they have in place at these court.
Yeah, it
courthouses.
seems like, especially this one,
Seriously.
that like what you can send is very limited.
Yeah, very small files.
Yeah.
They have to be in certain
I mean, they
format.
could have uploaded them to YouTube and had better success than the system they're using as
Yeah.
far as file size.
For real. This is just something that I know many of you know this, but this is something we run across all the time. People can't. I don't really think it's a lot of it. I am sure is the incompetency of a lot of people that aren't into technology. I probably could. I'm sure I would screw it up too, but I think that it seems like there's a major flaw in
Heard,
part of the system.
do you know what the videos are, ma'am?
Ma'am.
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 Miss Jones, do you know what the videos are that you submitted?
Hello, yoo-hoo.
You submit a video.
I'm sorry.
I submitted.
I'm sorry. The defendant sent videos. Miss Jones,
Gina, that's
evidence didn't
possible.
come over. So we only have videos for the defendant. I'm sorry, not the petitioner.
Yeah, but I also
She
sent
sent-
over.
The defendant
noti-
sent video
Angel.
and didn't even show up.
Oh gosh, I wish we could be privy to those.
Oh my God, I would love to see that because you know it's probably her cussing her out when she's like, "Honey child, please don't be raking russes. Feel free to steal any of my foods you like."
notarized paper that no one is supposed to record me.
So
They're
we're not
managed-
gonna. So that's,
What?
that's we're not. That's not the allegation. I'm talking about family violence at this point. So you said you
Okay.
submitted pictures, but I,
Huh.
have
I
not
did.
seen any-
That was a little
She got really upset and scared.
yes, she did. Was that the true her? I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Did she
that
say
was-
she signed something that said she couldn't be recorded?
maybe that's like a big rule, like you can't work on your vehicles in the yard and you can't be recorded. Toby, thank you.
Peeping is just fine, Toby. Go ahead. Peep all you want.
Do it. Peep away.
Did you get a response that they needed to be in PDF form?
I did. I sent it over in PDF form.
When did you do that?
I sent that over when I had my first hearing
In which case did you send that over? in?
for Angela Walker. For
Mm,
Angel Walker. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Angela. It's
Hey,
Angel
Kyle's
Walker.
bad, Hector.
there's no way this is getting granted.
Have you filed against her before?
No,
And you sent it to the CSC info?
yes.
Okay.
And I have
Alright.
documentation that I sent it over to
Okay.
them.
Where on your arm was the bruise?
It was on my left arm,
Mm-hmm.
my of my arm.
My left arm of my arm.
All right. Are you asking the court to extend this order at this time?
Yes.
Okay, and explain why you're asking me to extend the order now that she's not in the house anymore.
Because even if we're out and about, I don't know if there could be any type of retaliation and due to the threats that she has stated against me, I just don't trust her. I don't want her around me. I don't want her anywhere in close in proximity to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on what you've told me, I find that there has been an act of family violence that occurred.
What? Are you kidding? No.
And since y'all are no longer living together, I'm not sure if she's going to try to return to the residence. I do find if she tries to return to the residence that there could be a reasonable likelihood of future acts of violence. So at this time, I will extend the order.
Thank you.
But I'm going to make it 6 months.
There we go. At
Because
least
we
that's
only
happening.
resided together for a brief period of time, and we're only roommates. So there really wasn't a familiar relationship here. So it will be. Yes, ma'am.
If I can say this, excuse me, if I can say this,
Yes.
her boyfriend's belongings are still here. And so
Okay.
what happens is there's a code on the door where they can come in at any given time. So it may not be it could be within 6 months or it could be past 6 months.
Okay. Well, do you know what the status of her boyfriend is at Patsplit or wherever he is managed?
He's still on Patsplit. He's still active with them.
Okay. All right. So I'll just extend it for 12 months.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow. She just talked her into 12
We will have
months.
no contact
on
with
that
you of any kind.
huge amount of
The order will be in effect from today through August 2nd.
I understand we only got one side of the story.
2024, sorry, when it will expire naturally. You are awarded sole and exclusive possession of the residence as it relates to her.
Okay.
Get it sometimes.
And she is to have no contact with you. You do not have any minor children, is that right?
I do not, but I do have an adult son that comes over.
Okay, well, it's just she's to stay away. He would have to file his own if there was something.
Right, because he's an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just she's
Harry,
to
where
stay
are
away
you?
from you, and your residence, workplace, or school, and any future residence, workplace, or school. Also, she's not to come within 100 yards of you and have no contact with you whatsoever by any means of communication through a third party, through phone, through email, or anything. And are you certain she has nothing there, or I may need to add a one trip to get any remaining items?
She doesn't have anything else here. The
Okay.
police escorted her and she took everything in her U-Haul truck.
All right. So I'm going
U-Haul.
to leave it. I'm not going to order the family violence intervention program because there's no reason for you all to have future contact. You were co-tenants only.
Amy, yes, CB radio show, or just look on the link tree.
Yeah, there's a link tree down there that's got all of our stuff in it.
So there it is. It's. I mean,
there's no need to sit here and listen to them breathe.
Yeah,
again, I don't understand that
so
one.
let me ask you this though, and some of you might know this because I know, and some of you said this in the chat. If I understand a no-show, then obviously that's not good for the other party. But
no show, no call.
That doesn't mean that you automatically win if you don't show up with one of these things, do you? Does that carry over to that?
I wouldn't think so, because why even listen if we're going to automatically grant it?
Right.
Why just why waste our time asking how many bathrooms there is in the place?
Yeah.
But it's I don't doubt there was some trouble, but I don't think it was to the extent that we needed this. Oh, that place is nice.
I like this one here with the bed.
$254 a week.
Oh, let me share this differently.
Yikes.
Yeah, the prices are they're not cheap at all. I saw some that were a little cheaper. But like this does not look great on the outside, but the inside actually looks pretty damn nice.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Porch, some laundry.
There's some cabinetry.
It's cabinetries. Look at that bathroom.
It's nicer than my bathroom.
I mean,
and remember, she was saying there was 8 bedrooms. Say if they had eight bedrooms filled up at $200 a pop, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're
oh yeah, no, there's
$100 a week.
Definitely some monies
to
be made for sure. Yeah, Pamela, I kind of agree with you on that one, but what do I know?
That's why we say we're not lawyers. We're like you, common folk, just here having a good time.
Ooh, this one, the race fans.
Wow, look at that. Checker flag.
All of you that are popping in, because it is almost 1:00 Eastern. We started at noon today. Mikey's got a little something to do today.
I gotta go to an ultrasound. I'm having a baby.
He's having a baby.
But don't get upset, because at 2:30 today, that's about an hour and a half from now, you'll be able to enjoy the first installment of Florida Friday Court. That's right.
Love that.
We're in Orange County, listening to some bond hearings. This is actually a place we've never been before. This is one of those things where it's not even on YouTube. You got to go and get it from their site. So
nice.
I'll probably be in jail tomorrow for us watching it. But yeah, go check that out. It's gonna be a hoot nanny.
Are you surprised that every single one of those houses that are up on this pad split are like newly renovated, or do you think that's just the only pictures that they put up are the ones that were?
I'm pretty sure that what they do is around by absolute junk houses, do enough work to them to make it look nice and run them out to folks.
And then because they surely, I would imagine a lot of those are older pictures. I would imagine.
Oh yeah,
could be wrong though,
but you could be right.
Yeah. Anyways, and we'll be back Florida Friday for We Gotta Chase, and then members only. Don't forget about that too. For the main
show. A quick teaser for Credence and Mikey members only. I will be reading messages sent to Mr. Murdaugh while he's laid up in prison.
Oh,
from all these women's and men's that want to hook up with him. So Mr. Murdaugh's text messages will be read here live with you tonight, 5:30 Eastern time. Make sure you're there for that.
Oh, I love that. And we're gonna jump on. We got a jackpot at some point tonight, and doing a $1,000 bonus hunt. So that's gonna be fun. It's the Get Freaky Friday Express. Thank you guys for joining us on this fun ride, an early ride, a nooner, someone should say. Yeah. Shelly, Amy, who Mikey's favorite. Pez, welcome. Credence fan Amy, Mrs. Hot, Super Raw, Shelly, T Spider, Keeper, welcome. Shelly as well. Jay from Michigan, Toby, and Gary.
Gary, where are you?
Guys, make sure you do us a favor, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because you never know when things are going to pop off. So make sure those notifications are turned on. Otherwise, you'll be like, oh, man, I didn't believe they went live at noontime today. That's crazy. It's crazy. What we got? It's doing
but it's screwing up again.
It's doing a StreamYard.
Doing a
fix that, will you?
I wanted to show you that they show.
I see the map down here. Very
free
small.
Coffee and free stuff, but StreamYard.
Hold on, let me see if I can put it up.
No.
Nope. All right, guys. Stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned. You never know what we're going to add to the repertoire. Like today, Florida Friday Court. Here in just an hour and a half. Make sure you're there for that. Go ahead, set a reminder, whatever that's called. We love you. Peace out, Boy Scout.
Denied.